I actually just finished this video, but I realized I completely forgot to say what I was meant to say at the start. But I just want to talk a little bit about the giveaway that just happened. It was the last video on my channel, I believe. Yeah, I just want to thank everybody that did enter. I know there seemed to be some problem with the comments and people's comments not showing up. I still genuinely do not know how that happened. I went onto like my YouTube studio and like looked at my comments that may have been held for review for some reason, but there was none in there. And yeah, for some reason, people's comments just didn't come through. So if you did miss out on this giveaway, I really do apologize on that. But stay tuned because there will be more. And I'll definitely come up with a more foolproof way of, you know, making sure everyone is properly in that draw when it does happen. And yeah, as for the two winners, Malsen and Jake, I do want to give a big shout out to Jake actually, because there has been some problems with me getting this NECA figure. It's all sorted now and sent off literally as of today. But yeah, I do want to give a big shout out to him because he's been incredibly patient with it as well. And yeah, that is sent off now though, so obviously I'll be keeping in touch with you over, you know, forever. Why not? But yeah, obviously any update I do get, I'll make sure to give that to you. But yeah, hopefully expect that in the next week or so. But yeah, anyway, on with the video. Yes, I am back. Welcome guys to a new video. I hope you're all doing well. I'm sorry it's been a while since I recorded my last video. Again, I apologize, but yeah, I've just been so busy with work. I had a 7-day week that kind of, it like put me out of the flow of videos. Like I usually go in advance, as you guys probably can tell. A lot, or if not all of my videos seem to be me in the same clothes because I just get into my pajamas or something comfy and I record all my videos in, you know, like an hour period, and that's like my week done. But yeah, I just kind of ran out of videos then in the end, and I have one going up tomorrow that's from like a week or two ago, but I wanted to get a bit of a different video up today. I'm recording this the day it goes out, so happy Valentine's everyone. I hope you're all doing great. Yeah, I'm going to be spending my Valentine's the same I do every year, and that is spending the whole thing talking about Michael Myers. But yeah, guys, today we're going to be talking about which Halloween timeline, in my opinion, was the best. I'm interested to hear all of your guys' opinions, obviously, as I always am. But yeah, over the 13 Halloween films that we have got, and the 12 of them that actually involve Michael Myers, there's been a few different paths that we've ended up taking through this franchise, and some good, some not so great. But today I want to talk about which one I think was probably the best and the one I most enjoyed. And obviously, as the title says, it's the cult, the siblings, or the evil. I didn't know what to call the David Gordon Green trilogy. If you can think of anything better, let me know. But all I could think of was the evil. Yeah, I want to get your guys' thoughts down in the comments below of which one you think was best as well. But we'll start off with the cult. And the cult timeline is one that, especially when I was younger, I definitely didn't really take too much of a liking to. I found that when we got into like the Halloween 5 and the Halloween 6, it just became a little bit like, where are we at here? Like, how did we go from Halloween night 1978 to this? To me, it just felt like it got very lost. And I know there are some people out there that are very pro like the Thorn timeline, and Halloween 6 is not a terrible Halloween. I'm not going to go on record and say that my opinion is that Halloween 6 is great, because I don't think it is. But yeah, I think we got a great Michael Myers in it, so in that sense it wasn't so bad. So yeah, while to me Halloween 6 is a great Michael Myers, the story and the way we follow this cult timeline just isn't something that I enjoy at all. Whole like Danielle Harris not being in it, and considering the way that she basically carried 4 and 5, I think to not let her be the one that, you know, is actually receiving the death from Michael Myers, it just annoyed me a little bit. It's one that I don't really like. Like, I don't look at that like actress that played Jamie and see Jamie at all. It feels so disconnected to me, you know, and that's obviously no disrespect to her. She can't help it. She was just brought in. But yeah, I just find the fact that they didn't use Danielle Harris so like not right. And yeah, with the cult timeline, the whole Man in Black element as well wasn't one that I particularly liked. I think it was because it almost made Michael a bit of like a puppet in my eyes. Like, he's just kind of a piece of a puzzle to this bigger thing going on that's just a bit weird. You know, I think that really ruined Michael's like mystique. So for me, that just didn't sit right. Next up, we're going to be talking about the sibling approach. And obviously, I know that like the cult timeline has them as siblings, but this is me just focusing on like kind of the H2O route, where it is a bit like, you know, they're just siblings, and that's the link they have. You know, the sibling timeline for me is one that I found myself really on the fence over. I think, again, it was one that I didn't like too much when I was younger, but I do think, whether I like it or not, it did kind of grow on me. And while the element of David Gordon Green's trilogy that I absolutely loved was just the idea of Michael being so unexplainable, like there's no link to him to these people, he is just killing. You know, that's something that I found really good, and it's something I find makes Michael scarier. I do find the sibling storyline now a little bit different in a good way, and the way it does kind of link Michael and Laurie, you know, I don't mind it. I think it, you know, it gave us H2O, which is one of my favorite films, and I think that shows the very best of like the sibling kind of timeline. You know, I didn't mind the opening Act 2 resurrection. I thought like that was the only bit of that film in which I was even semi-intrigued. Obviously, Halloween 2 going even further back was the first time this gets presented to us, and I think that does it well. For some reason, when I'm watching Halloween 2, it's still not really in my brain that they're siblings in it. I just really see it as an extension of 1978, and he's just basically continuing after this girl. And, you know, like, there are issues definitely with taking a sibling approach to the Halloween franchise in the future, especially because, you know, there's only so much you can do with it. Yeah, we could maybe bring Danielle Harris back and carry on the whole uncle kind of idea. You know, I think Halloween 4, in terms of like the sibling element to it, is, again, it's another one where it like was probably at its best in terms of keeping Michael scary whilst also keeping that, you know, family element to it. And obviously the way that that could, you know, be a little bit future proof, if you want to call it that, is if we do go and get Danielle Harris back and, you know, make it as though it was a little bit of a passing the torch moment in Halloween 4. You know, Danielle Harris as a grown woman, there's that element to it that can be explored in different ways. But I do think it's going to get old very quick, and there's going to be a point where it's like, okay, we've gone so far with this now to where people might just see it as Michael is just a guy that goes after his family. And then moving on to the final kind of, you know, path that we have taken with the Halloween franchise, it's, you know, the evil timeline, pure evil, if you want to call it that. And I think this one stands to be the strongest out of the three options to me. You know, the idea that Michael is just pure and simply evil is, without a doubt, my favorite summary of Michael. You know, the shape who is just pure evil. There's no control to him, no empathy, no reasoning. You know, he's just a shape that stalks, kills, and goes home. That, to me, that was incredible when I first heard that in Kills. I think it was Lonnie that delivered that line where he just says he stalks, he kills, he goes home. I just love the simplicity of that. I think, you know, that simple explanation is just creepy. It's so like, because you don't get it still. Like, he's explained exactly what Michael does, but it doesn't make any sense, and I really like that. Yeah, the whole pure evil idea as well, it makes Michael seem a little bit more of like a phantom almost, like, you know, this ghost-like thing that just moves around Haddonfield and kills. You know, anyone is a target, and, you know, he just comes on Halloween, you know, emerging from wherever he's come from, and he just goes house to house, killing. And yeah, while I am singing the praises of the David Gordon Green trilogy in that sense, obviously this one did not end the way it probably should have. So yeah, it's definitely not like the perfect path that we've taken so far, but to me it's the strongest and the most future-proof we can take it, because it makes sense then for Michael to just come back every so often. The David Gordon Green trilogy did not cap off well. It wasn't all perfect, but in those first two films, I think that is the best we have ever seen Michael Myers, and it seemed to go right back to the original, the way Michael acted. It was absolutely perfect in my opinion. And yeah, just with these ideas, in terms of like maybe a ranking of these three concepts, I think my number 3 is going to go to The Cult, because it just isn't really up my street. I think, you know, adding these different people like the Man in Black, you know, this cult that is making Michael do what he does, I think it takes away from him. It makes him seem not as dangerous in a way. Number 2, I'm going to go with the sibling timeline, I think. And as for number 1, the evil, when Michael is just a force that is going around killing people, that to me is the scariest Michael Myers, and it allows the most kind of carnage to occur. But yeah, let me know what you guys do think down in the comments below to this, out of the 3 ideas that I've presented. If you have another like route you want to go, let me know down in the comments below as well. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.